Hi, my name is Chelsea Hudson. I appreciate you giving me a moment of your time. I recently had the pleasure of speaking with Amy Russo at UT Tyler about your communications coordinator position. After familiarizing myself with your company, the Genecov Group certainly has my attention as a place to be in Tyler. My goal here today is to get your attention in return, and maybe be the one to put an end to your search. Before I go any further, though, I'd like to take a second to address a little something. And no, not the shiny hardware. It may not be an issue, but if you do have objections to a visible tattoo, I want to mention two things. First, transparency is essential to me, so it's important that I bring it up now. We're both looking for something, but we both have to find the right fit, which brings me to my second point. If this doesn't fit with you, don't worry, it doesn't fit with me either anymore. Years ago, when I made the decision to do this, I had a different career path. There were different expectations for professional presentation. I decided after much thought and deliberation that it's time to move on. I'll be continuing the process to have it removed this year. Jim Rohn once said that effective communication is 20% what you know and 80% how you feel about what you know. Well, I know people, but the way I feel about people is something else. I have a heart for helping people, for listening to them, supporting them, and inspiring them to be great, feel great, and do great. We all have a human condition to want to be respected, validated, and ultimately uniquely appreciated. This need doesn't stop at the gates of business. It must be carried over and shared abundantly with those we serve. I believe this wholeheartedly and strive to always practice it and continuously improve it. It takes such a small amount of extra effort to truly go the extra mile, to go beyond the requirements of one's job, to make another person feel special to you and your organization, like he or she is the one person who will make or break your business. Because the reality is, they are. Any job in which you interact with customers or clients provides an opportunity to gain and utilize customer service experience. I've brought this attitude and approach to every position I've held. I believe in building sincere relationships as a means of doing business. I have poured my heart in the triumphs and setbacks of people trying to change their bodies and their lives through health and fitness. I've brought people together over catered lunches to discuss their next game-changing strategies, and I've consoled people at their darkest times from behind the bar top. If there is any industry that I have maintained consistently in my background, it's the industry of people. And in that, I'm a pro. But let's face it, there are ups and downs in every industry. That's especially true when it comes to people. We are paradoxically simple yet complex. We have this infinite potential for both positive and negative social exchanges. There are times when boundaries must be set, though. Policies and guidelines must be enforced, and uncomfortable, delicate, or even confrontational conversations must be had. I believe these types of conflict are natural. They're helpful when handled appropriately and go a long way in forming mutually trusting, healthy relationships. I could share dozens of these conversations. Times I've had to enforce company policies for safety with people at all levels of the organization. Times I've had to speak with gym members who are unhappy with themselves after returning to old habits, and tactfully ask them what they've been doing and how I can help them get back on track. Talk about delicate conversations. And I could share every positive result of those conversations with you, but what offers deeper insight and shows better character development are the conversations that didn't go well. One such moment really stands out for me when I let my patience wear thin. I lost my clarity and very poorly handled an escalating conflict with a driver. You see, after getting multiple warnings to slow down to the posted speed limit, I was reactive, not proactive. I spoke severely, and the exchange led me to asking him to leave for the day. I soon realized I could have handled that situation better, with a real conversation, with genuine communication. And I had to swallow that crow. I had to go hand in hand and apologize for how I handled it, and then ask how we could work together better moving forward. Thankfully, the fallout was minor and business was not interrupted, but it was a pivotal moment for me professionally. I realized that not every mistake can be so easily remedied. Not every person that you have a negative service experience with will give you another chance to make it right. That is stuck in the forefront of my mind and helped me in every confrontation and conflict since. Wow. I know this was meant to be brief, so I want to thank you for sticking with me and giving me a minute of your busy day. The truth is, I would love to keep going about my passion for people and all of the traits and experiences and practices that make me a top candidate for your communication coordinator position. But I propose action and interaction instead. At this point, I'd like to imagine that you are just as enthusiastic about meeting me as I am to meet with you. So let's make that happen. I look forward to getting to know more about you and the Genecov group, and I hope I have the opportunity to build a great relationship with you and your customers.